Is your limited liability company held inside of your living trust? If not, you need to get it in there. In this video, I'm going to discuss what you need to do to transfer your LLC into your living trust. All right, let's get started. So this is a real problem that we run into a lot here at Anderson. Whenever we're dealing with someone who has passed away and they have a limited liability company and a living trust, what we find many times is that the LLC has never been transferred into the living trust. Now, what does that mean for the individual? That means that their estate is going to have to go through probate. You see, the idea of a living trust, when you create a living trust, you want to put all of my assets into this living trust that I've set up. Now, there are a few assets you do not put into a living trust, and I have a video on the top 5 assets that should not be placed into a living trust. So besides those assets I reference in that video, which you can find a link in the show notes if you want to go and watch that, all of your other assets need to be in there. Now, many times when it comes to funding a trust, people think in terms of titleable assets. For example, my personal residence, I deed it into my trust. What they can forget is that these LLCs that you've set up over here, maybe you have a Wyoming LLC, and when it was established, you did not have a living trust, and you're listed as the member of this limited liability company. Now, in order for that LLC to be transferred to your beneficiaries upon your passing and avoid probate, the member of this LLC must be your living trust. And this is the issue that comes up far too often with individuals who have passed away, is that they have rental property LLCs, and when you look at the operating agreements, the individual who passed away is listed as the member. Now, it's a very simple fix in order to correct this. And what it requires is that you take your membership interest and you enter into what we refer to as an assignment agreement. Okay? So what is that, an assignment agreement? It's where you as a member state that you assign all of your ownership or membership interest in this entity over to your living trust. If you had 5 LLCs that you're listed as a member on, then you need to transfer all 5 LLCs over to your trust. So if we were using me as an example, I would say Clint Coons, member of ARC LLC, hereby transfers it over to the Coons Family Living Trust. Maybe I have another LLC, Kingdom Family LLC. I'll transfer Kingdom Family LLC into the Coons Family Living Trust. And so by entering into this assignment, which in reality you can just do one document and list all of your LLCs and your ownership interest, and it'll accomplish the same thing. You then make sure that upon your passing, your LLCs are not held outside of your living trust, but instead are held inside of the living trust. So then they can transfer that ownership to your beneficiaries and escape having to open up a probate. And it also gives the successor trustee the ability to deal with third parties that hold accounts inside of those LLCs. For example, if I had an LLC that has a brokerage account inside of it, and I wanted to ensure that if I passed away, that my estate or my successor trustee has control over that LLC to get in there, maybe close out positions. In order for that to happen without the court getting involved, it needs to be in the living trust. So that's a crucial aspect of holding business entities. If you have a living trust, do a search right now to make sure, go through your documents, make sure they've been assigned over. Now, if you want to know about the operating agreements themselves, do you need to change the operating agreements once the interest has been assigned over to your living trust? No, you do not. And I would tell you it's not in your best interest to update your operating agreement to reflect that your living trust is the owner. Why? It's because there may come a time when you need to show this document to a lender. And if you show it to the lender and they see that the living trust is listed as the member on the operating agreement, then the next question the underwriter is going to ask of the broker is, hey, where's his living trust? And so it just opens up a scenario where they just keep looking and asking for documents. And I want to get in front of that. If I just give them the LLC with my name still listed on there, I'm not going to provide them the assignment. I'm going to just keep that in my back pocket. Do what you need to do. Give me my loan, and then I'll just put my docs back together, keep that assignment together, and that will take care of it. The last point I want to make here is about taxes. Okay, so a question that comes up a lot, if I do this and I move that ownership interest from my name into my living trust, how does that affect me from a tax standpoint? Well, the living trust is a grantor trust, and therefore it is ignored for federal tax purposes. There is no tax impact to you as an individual. All of the income you're generating through that LLC, when it's held by the living trust, will continue to appear on your 1040, and you will not have to prepare a tax return for that trust. Now, after you pass away, of course, that's a different scenario. The trust becomes irrevocable, and then it will have to file a return. So it's a quite simple fix if you're in this scenario. In fact, what I'm going to do for you is you go into the show notes, look in there, and I have a link to an assignment form that you can download, you can use for your LLCs to get them transferred into your living trust. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you're not yet a subscriber, what the heck's taking you so long? All right, take care.